Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Libra for September 2020. First off, I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers, and certainly those that put in the time and the commitment to go through the duration of my readings. I know they are a little lengthy, but I do try to use the different perspectives that each of the different decks provide. So I do try to provide a little bit of a synopsis in the beginning for all those who don't have the time to listen to the reading as it's fleshed out in its entirety. And for those that are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And as I mentioned, I do a little quick synopsis so that those that don't have a lot of time get a rundown of what the energies are for the month of September. So I'll just quickly go through what I have in the spread first off. The cards at the back here and off to the side, which are not visible at this time, but these are actually just general energies. And then I have the cards central to the reading, which relate to the career and finance, money aspects. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of the synopsis of what I felt was coming through here. Libra, you're definitely on some kind of a journey. There is definitely something in September that's coming through as abundance. I can't 100% say without going through all the cards in detail as to what it is that is creating the abundance, but certainly there is some kind of a surprise or something monetary that is going to be coming through that will be a bit of a surprise to you for the month of September. But overall, I feel that you're still a little bit worried about finances, but there is so much abundance. There's so much that you are coming into on a spiritual level in terms of leadership and confidence and general overall intuitive awakening that that there's just an unfolding on multiple levels. There's a lot of layers here that are starting to come together and make sense. I feel like you're coming into your own power. I feel like you're coming into your own sense of yourself. I feel that you're starting to get everything's making sense to you now and you're able to go forward. I feel you're closing out some kind of an old cycle. Don't know if this relates to a relationship. And on that note, I should just quickly reiterate, I've mentioned in some other previous readings that I don't do relationship readings. What I do, however, is if there is a relationship aspect that's coming through, whether it's partnership, friendship, familial relationships, or something along those lines, or romantic relationships, if that is coming through, I may touch on it and just let you know that there is some aspect that's relevant to your money or relevant to the overall energies of the month, but I don't go in and flesh it out and give you a lot of answers on a deeper level. So again, just general energies and more career and finance based. So again, I did feel that there was a lot of a closing out of a cycle. I feel there's a lot of lessons that have been learned here for you. There's enlightenment now. I feel you've got new passion for your project that I think has been going on for some of us, as I say, over the course of months. It's not really been something that has just started. Just because when I reflect back on the Libra readings, there has been a lot of momentum. It's just been a little slow to culminate for some. What I would say is that a lot of this will be a residual into other months because everybody does work at their own pace. It's certainly not going to be specific to, it may be more specific to, a few Librians, but in particular, I feel that overall, because of the age range, 18 to 65, I mean, some people are going to be working at their own level of motivation and energy levels. And all I can tell you is that when the doorways open for certain energies to come through, that's when you want to try to take advantage of those opportunities. So that is what I try to pick up on, is those energies that come through so that you're able to walk through and take advantage of that while those windows stay open. So right now, lots of opportunity, lots of ambition, lots of recognition, a lot of victories that are coming through. There's definitely some very positive things that are coming through for the month of September. The only underlying issue that I felt might be a concern may lay in the realm of a relationship, or it may lay in the realm of personal doubt. but there is the possibility that you may try to relive a lesson that you've already learned, and or repeat it, or go back into it, step back into it in some level. I feel that you're going to catch yourself. There's going to be some kind of intuitive inkling or nudging that will let you know that you're moving down a path that you don't need to relearn. You've already done it, and you're being nudged back into the right path. So that might cause a little bit of a tower moment, because there was a tower moment that came through toward the beginning of September. It could represent, as I say, we've got the devil energy here, so it could be revolving around a Cancerian. There's a couple of different energies that are coming through on that front, but for the most part, I won't go into a lot of detail on a relationship level, but I suspect that is a relationship, whether it's a partnership, familial relationship, somebody in a family member that's a Cancerian or Sagittarius, Capricorn, something along that line. But either way, and it can also take the shape of some other indulgences and so on, but I'll go through that at another, like later on in the reading here. But again, there is some kind of disruption that's coming through there toward the beginning of September, but overall everything is moving in a forward motion. There is victories here, there's awakening, there's enlightenment, there is abundance. You are getting victories throughout September, and it could come in the way of abundance. Some of these things could be epiphanies. Some of these things could be in the way of, creative ideas and something that's starting to light the way. But these are all doorways that I see starting to open for you. Okay, so I'll just get right into the reading itself. Okay, so to start with, the deck that I'm using, I'll go through the decks and pull them forward here. That I'm just, before I get into the ones at the back, usually I start with those ones, but I'm going to read the ones I've got down here at the end. These are really large cards, and sometimes they're just fun to pull out. I just like some of the feel of it. So anyway, these are I've got a few cards here that represent the Hierophant as well as the Nine of Swords. And I should mention, each deck has its own meaning. They're not all the same. So even though the Hierophant, could represent a traditional marriage and all of those things, and structure and government agencies and all of that, in this particular deck, it actually revolves a little more closely to something of a spiritual teacher. So I feel that is the direction of where you're really headed here, Libra, is that there is more of some kind of a spiritual inkling, or some kind of interest in the metaphysics, something that is revolving around that is either yourself or someone else that's coming through that is influencing you on that level. But it is also somebody who speaks of traditional values and conformity and tradition, as well as kindness. But certainly this is a leader of sorts, and it did come through with the Nine of Swords. This is more of an energy that could be a little more worrisome. And again, it came through with the Nine of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck. So there's definitely some kind of anxiety, some kind of over worry, or something along that line that is consuming your thoughts at some point here. Because again, this is a general energy. So the Nine of Swords in itself can speak to, a lot of anxiety, as I mentioned. It can speak to a lack of consideration or some kind of cruelty, coupled with the Hierophant. I feel that there is some kind of harshness, or I'm going to say not harshness necessarily of a person, but for sure there's some kind of suspicion, or some kind of anxiety maybe about going forward with this spiritual teaching, or some kind of disbelief. I mean, if we were talking about love, this can be, again, suspicion or distrust or mistrust on that level as well, and it can even indicate there's some kind of a quarrel, or an inability to forgive. So, I mean, that could be part of the reading, that there is some aspect of that with regards to a relationship where there's a lack of trust or suspicion of some sort here. But it can also represent, where there's blockages and stagnant energy, and that there was unclear vision, and that you are possibly, with the Hierophant coming out of that, and you're starting to regain, dominion over your passion again, and you're able to go forward with that fresh start and finding some kind of release and detachment from, things that might have been hard or cruel, that caused you a lot of worry and darkness and suffering. Because I think sometimes with Libras, they can be self-punishing, and certainly I think there could have been some worries or some difficult times that occurred in the previous months that that you're now being liberated from. So with the Nine of Swords, I feel there was some sorrow and there was some difficulty, and I do feel overall that the Hierophant is pulling you out of that there is some kind of enlightenment or spiritual awareness, whether you become the teacher or the leader because of this, but either way, there's some kind of a shift there in that energy that's indicating you are now able to get out of that stagnation. So there might have even been sleepless nights and all of those things that go along with that as well, but that rigidity and that closed-mindedness has opened you up to some hard lessons, which now has culminated as wisdom, and it's a higher level of understanding. So that was the one energy, and then the other, we've got the Five of Pentacles, and we've also got the Three of Swords. So this is, again, these are some of the energies that come through that were a little bit on the negative side, but again, they're more about less about they're minor arcana cards, not major arcana, so I don't feel that they're anything significant to worry about. With the Five of Pentacles, again, it's just about worry of some sort here, unexpected expense that might come through for the month of September. Could even represent job concerns or things that you're starting to have to consider for the month of September. It may not be really hitting you in the month of September, but it is still something that's on your mind, or it could even represent a disturbance of family life. With the Three of Swords in there as well, again, that can also represent some form of conflict, some form of sorrow, or some kind of disruption, or something that causes some kind of imbalance with, where things aren't filled with harmony, or that's creating disharmony, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, with the Two of Wands, you also have the Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords, again, speaks to, ending a cycle. There's a lot of tens in this reading, so there's definitely something that's come to an end. A lot of nines in this reading as well. So that means that not only has it come to an end, but you've actually moved into the change itself. So the Ten of Swords speaks to that power in our minds where you're actually able to fulfill your dreams. You've got momentum here to start with Wands energy. And, that willingness to go ahead and be successful and achieve, what you feel you're worth here. I think that as I said, I felt that there was a lot more courage that was coming through in the reading. I feel that there might be a little bit of a slide back, but for the most part, you've got you've got an awakened mind. There's a lot of things that are starting to change now. I feel that you know who you are. So you're believing in who you are, you're believing in your dreams and your aspirations, and you're actually preparing to make those things become a reality, meaning you're not just taking the energy of the universe, you're actually putting it into action. So with the Two of Wands, again, Wands is about that moving energy, that ambition. It's also speaking to you being in charge of the way your life is now starting to unfold. The Wands is not indicating that there will not be any obstacles or surprises, but it does tell you that you have the ability, the knowledge, you've got the momentum here to fulfill the destiny and to chase the dream, to get it done. So you've got a lot of power cards here. You've got a lot of, despite obstacles, you now have a sense of yourself, so you're able to just go forward despite anything. And it could be just a sense of reckoning now that, you just feel like there is something that an old way of doing things is no longer working, and so now you've realized you have to make those changes. Okay, so the next cards I'll read would be the Fire card. Those will be the Fortune Reading cards, Sharina Starr, illustrations by Richard Crooks. And I should just mention the other cards that I also read from. The first tarot, that one was actually, it's a book written by Bridget Reed, and the tarot illustrations were by Colin Howard. So that was the larger tarot. So with the Fortune Reading cards, I'll just bring this forward. we actually have fire. So fire can speak to anger. There might be some things that that you're still dealing with, a residual. You're letting go of emotional upheaval and embracing the renewal of the present. So for sure, you're getting ready to move ahead here. This is renewal, purification is what that card represents. It's new life, period. So in terms of personal relationships, it could represent a lot of anger or a lot of passion. Either way, that can be something that it could even, it can be it can be destructive, and there's a lot of other cards that also spoke to you trying to keep your emotions in check. So, so maybe at the beginning of September, that's where you're getting a lot of that energy, but for sure it is about you not walking on eggshells. It's time for you to communicate openly, release any of these feelings that you've got pent up. I'm not saying throw them all out into the wind in one go, but just to be really logical and practical in the way that you do communicate, so it's not a heated situation. You want to keep your emotions under control here, because it looks like there is a fair amount of intensity. But it is also you moving in terms of career and money. It's about you moving towards your goal, and definitely about a life transformation, a lot of motivation, a lot of ambition, a lot of desire, a lot of power behind this card. It's about letting the past go and enable for this to happen, this renewal to come forward, and you're actually confronting things. You've got enormous personal growth that comes through with this card, and you're finally going to be able to, be respected in whatever it is that this power, this goal, this new energy that is. I feel the energy has been coming through over the course of the year. It's just that this is now starting to culminate. As I say, every couple of months, it seems like there is some kind of progress. There's some kind of momentum, something that is showing you that you are moving in the right direction. Okay, so with the World card, be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life, and it's just that. It's about completion, it's about achievement, it's about endings, and enable for the ending to occur. This means that you're on the precipice of something new opening up. So it's a major life cycle here when the World card shows up, and it's showing up here in the overall energies as well as in the money sector. So just to be aware that the World card is a repeat. You've got quite a few repeat cards here, so that just really intensifies things for me. And again, it's a major arcana card too, so it's definitely significant beginning and ending of some sort, as well as you're already stepping into that new role. So this, in terms of personal relationships, this could speak to somebody who lives at a distance. Maybe you're communicating on some level, via the internet or over the phone, whatever. There's a lot of communication that would be happening with this card in terms of relationships. It could be in relation to business as well. There's something that's opening up there, but it's overall, this is a card of happiness. It's a card of healing. It's a card of inheritance and investments. Anything in terms of money that is outstanding will now start to come back to you. It's also a card that's letting you know that there is an increase to happen here. So you might be getting a reward for your past efforts. It's coming through in September, because as I said, I did feel there was some kind of surprise of some sort, something that the universe is going to bring in for you, that will keep you feeling like you're moving in a forward momentum, or moving forward anyway. But for sure, there isn't a lot of pentacles to speak of necessarily, but there's a lot of victory, a lot of abundance. So I feel that there is something that's shaping up in the month of September that's indicating that you are going to get, you're moving in the direction of more victory. And there's a lot of victory cards here too. So I'll go right into the numerology cards. These ones are off to the side here. So this is leadership and abundance. So I'll start with the leadership card here. So with leadership, it's just that it is a time for you to, lead and guide others. So whether that is on some kind of community front, whether it's with your circle of friends or family, it can even be that others are just starting to see you as more of a leader. So whether or not you take that leadership role in an externally, outward fashion, or if it's something that you just are standing in your, standing in a level of confidence and courage, and you're showing your ability here to either motivate, inspire, or all of those things, as well as to lead, and others are just starting to see you now as a leader, which that may not have been the case in the past, but they're starting to see that you have some kind of strength or power and that you've stepped into a new role. You have unique talents, and there's something here that is starting to come forward that is indicating that you are a new and improved version of yourself. So again, this is a card that speaks to a natural ability to lead, whether or not you actually, have to get out there in the forefront and start delegating, or if it's just you're leading by example. Either way, this is a successful leader. This is somebody that others are now starting to see you in this role. Others are starting to see you in a new light. They don't see you they're starting to see something change in you, is what I'm getting here. With the abundance card, this one is actually indicating that you're adopting this attitude of abundance now. So again, abundance can be coming through in terms of money. It can also be coming through in terms of courage and confidence, and more connections. It has a lot of different aspects to it. So however that manifests for you, but it replaces any thoughts of scarcity. So if you feel that you weren't able to get ahead because you didn't have a lot of things in your favor, this is a card indicating that you've got more resources now. You've got more love, more health, wealth, wisdom, all of those things that are starting to come through for you. It's a prosperous card. It's about you being happy, and it's about you changing your perspective here to be able to embrace, the changing circumstances in your life. And there is change, lots of change coming through for September. So, and again, I feel you're open to it. There might be a couple of trickles here where I feel that there is, again, some kind of resistance, but overall, I don't feel there's significant enough issues that stop you. I feel that you are a new person, so to speak. You've taken on so many challenges in the previous year that I feel that you've been able to find a certain amount of strength out of each of those circumstances, which have just given you a strong degree of confidence. So again, there was a card coming through of disruption. Oh, and I should mention the numerology cards were by Michelle Buchanan. So these cards, this is the Book of Rune cards, and this is by Bloom, Ralph Blum, or Bloom, however it's pronounced. You've got the Disruption card, you've got the Harvest card, and you've also got the Protection card. So whatever the disruption is that's coming through, again, I don't feel it's a major obstacle. I feel that you may not be prepared for it, but you're okay with it. And certainly you are protected from any extreme harm for whatever is coming through for September. So, and it could be just self-imposed ideas or restriction that you put out there. But either way, we'll see if it comes out in the reading here. With the Disruption card, this is a card, just again, you're breaking free from this disruption. So this might actually have been something that's come out from the past. It's really about you starting to see that anything that was beyond your control it's now awakened you, that you actually have a gradual feeling that you have now come into your own power. This is you understanding yourself, your relationships, you're more in line with your beliefs and your values. You're not really at the mercy of external events. You're okay to take on challenges here. You've won a few battles, and now you feel like you're okay continuing the fight. You're not afraid of any of those obstacles now. You've got a new sense of inner strength here, is basically what's happening here. So any losses or damages that you sustained, whether it was on a relationship or a partnership or a family situation, this is a card to let you know. It's an encouragement card, really, and it's letting you know it was just necessary for your own personal growth so that you were able to move forward and become, the strength that you're now embodying. Okay, so the next card is the Harvest card. And with Harvest, this is, again, it's you aware of incoming success. You're building something that is going to have some degree of success. You know that if you just persevere with this, you're very, very close to having that manifest now. you're very, very close to this, this recognition, this acceptance. You just have to be a little more patient because you're very close to that, that cycle of reaping rewards. Okay, so the next card is protection, and again, that's just exactly that. Spirit is there with you along the way. Again, it's also a card of controlling your emotions here, and you want to make sure that you are not going through a lot of highs and lows. You want to keep things in check so that you can take advantage of those new opportunities and challenges. If you go through a lot of highs and lows, this is going to be things that slow you down. You might miss something in terms of an opportunity that is not, that might go unnoticed, escape your notice, just because of, you know, too many highs or lows. But again, it's still a card letting you know that you will progress. There is protection, but you just don't want to collapse into your emotions here. So just to really be aware of, again, any highs and lows or extremes. Don't let anybody, you know, put you into a state of lack of control, because you really have a higher vibration now. You really do have a good sense of yourself, and to fall back into old ways really reduces your vibration and closes you down from any insights that might come through, the warnings, things that you might need to know. So you don't want to fall into somebody else's chaos around you. A lot of times people that are still at a lower vibration immerse themselves in chaos because they can't grasp onto any one idea or any one value or belief system that they consider themselves, that they represent. And so they basically grasp onto a whole bunch of chaotic scenarios, and with conviction, which really isn't in line with who they are, because there's a disconnect. So if you involve yourself and react to somebody who's in chaos and who has strong convictions and rigidity, you in fact reduce down your own energy and you lose sight for that moment, your own direction. And that's somebody that's, you know, their energy is just trying to slow you up, and you really need to make sure you stay in your own power. Okay, so getting into the next cards, which will be the energy oracle cards. So that would be these ones here. You have the World. Again, it's a repeat. You've got the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. You've also got Healer of the Ages, and you've got another card of victory. So again, all of these cards speak a lot of repeats here. So I'll start with the World card. I mean, the World card basically is exactly that, as I mentioned before. It's about, you know, beginning and ending of a cycle. But actually, give me one sec here. Yeah, the World card is about expanding. There we are. Okay, so the World card is about expanding. It's about opening up. This is about you. When I say expanding, you're expanding your vision. You're now able to see things on a broader level. Whereas before, you know, before you had this enlightenment, you may have only seen the problem from, you know, kind of a two-dimensional, in a two-dimensional way, where you only saw maybe 2 solutions, or you only saw it from this one angle. Now you're actually able to see things from 5 different angles, so you can actually prevent anything that's going to get in the way of, you know, create an potential obstacle for you. You now actually have the ability to see in a broader way, so that also gives you broader options. So this is also a card of global networking, internet, social marketing, anything like that. So there might be something in terms of resources that's coming through that you need to take advantage of with this card. And it's just time to think about how you can make use of all of those things. So again, the World card is really you starting to expand on multiple layers. And again, there's lots of levels here in the month of September that you are leveling up here. Okay, so you also have 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. This is about love, compassion, self-acceptance for yourself as well as for others. So it's encouraging yourself and making sure you stay with positive self-talk. If you need to ask, if you run through a rough patch and you feel low period, where you're just not quite yourself, or feeling like you can believe in yourself. This is where you can actually call upon Archangel Raphael, or your guides, or your spirits, or your ancestors that have passed, and ask them for a little bit of guidance to help you, to encourage you to stay on the right path here. So this is a card to just to make sure that you stay on the course of light, in terms of support, so that you can continue to grow. So it is also about the universe sending people your way to help you to stay focused and grow and stay positive, and they actually become resources for you as you move through the month of September. You're going to see people start to come through to help you, as well as spirit. There's also Healer of the Ages, and again, this is about health and vitality. So this is about things flowing to you, healing intention. It's any resolution to physical or mental or emotional issues, and it's breaking through those blockages of energy, and it's revitalizing you. So you're now able to find some balance, and you're, again, it's all about renewal as well. So it's renewal, it's vitality, it's balanced, and it's really an energy of healing that's taking place. So last card here again is the Victory card. It's just that. It's about success. It's about achievement. This is a card letting you know you're definitely, it's not just being on the path, you're actually starting to see something come through for September on multiple levels. I didn't see a lot in terms of Pentacles just yet, but it's definitely, but you can, now there's going to be things that show you, things that open up in September that show you that it's coming. So you're going to get signs. This is about you, and there may actually be, for some of you might be extremely ambitious, very motivated, and there may actually be signs of this coming through with victories, and you're starting to feel this deep inner change. But this is about an accomplishment. And again, because there's so many 10s in this reading, I feel that the accomplishment may actually starting to manifest here. As I said, I still feel there's a bit of a juggle with money. But again, there's so many levels of success that are coming through here for you that I don't think it's going to be a real issue, because you're dealing with so many other things on your plate. You're not supposed to sit on your laurels and take a rest here. This is a card of you just keeping at the keep the momentum going here, basically. But just be open to seeing opportunity, and as well, and on every level. Again, that's not just on one level. Those victories that are coming through, that's multiple levels. There's something that is opening up and transforming. Okay, so the next cards, again, you have the Abundance card. This one is actually coming through with the Sacred Awakening deck, and this is Lemurian Temple Series by Sarah Esther Felix. You've got Abundance, you've got Wounded Warrior, you've got Pathways, and you've got Sabotage. So again, I did feel there was some cards here where there's a little bit of a struggle, but overall, they weren't significant big cards, and certainly because you've found a new sense of yourself, and there's a lot more confidence coming through. I don't feel these are issues that will even, cause you any real panic. So with the Abundance card here, this is about you. It's evidence that you've got your beliefs are in line, and in line with your path, and it's transforming you. Things are starting to shift around you. This is also a card of, like I said, abundance on many levels, but it's also the universe is starting to expand your knowledge and your abilities, because it's readying you to receive what's coming in. Okay, so the next card out was Wounded Warrior. So with the Wounded Warrior, I feel this is more of a past energy. I mean, some of you might be still carrying through some of this through to September, but for the most part, I feel it's a past energy. Wounded Warrior is, it's the hero, somebody who has become the victim. So, feeling a little worn out, overwhelmed, overpowered, and it's just really time to release all of that. So for those of you who haven't quite reached that stage, this is you in that transformation. So again, I feel that would be taking place really toward the beginning of September. For those that haven't quite had the the ability to, or I shouldn't say ability, I mean, you have the ability, but have had the opportunity to really slow it down and go within and kind of make those interchanges, because this is really a card of making those interchanges. This is a card about you getting rid of the demons. This, and I mean that metaphoric, not real demons. I'm just talking about metaphoric, fear mongering, guilty thoughts and hurtful events of the past that were weighing you down. So anything that was wearing you down, anything that was, grinding you to a halt, you now have some sense of a shield, that is coming up here, so that you're actually able to release it, seek resolution, move forward. Okay, the next card out is the Pathways card. And with the Pathways, this one again is just that, you're opening up to new energy paths. This is about you discovering, because you have this grander vision, you're now discovering new pathways that you can take. All of the things that were causing illusion and veiled before that you couldn't see before, you now have you have less fear to walk through, because you feel like you have an understanding of what's ahead of you. Things have been illuminated. You're aligned with your true self. You are now much more aware of not just the dream, but who you are in that dream toward the goal. Every part of you feels awake now. You're starting to observe your feelings, and this is really you opening up to who you are. It's your true path. Sabotage is the card of, again, release. It's getting rid of anything, any negative mindsets, anything that was blocking you, anything that might have caused you to prevent you from moving forward anyway. And again, it's limiting beliefs, it's guilt, it's, worry, it's anything like that might have stepped in your way there and just caused you to have to unlearn. Because I think what's happened here is it really sabotages just a learned behavior. It's something that we pattern ourselves over the course of years with an old value or an old belief system, which may have actually changed. And because you're now in this place of new awareness, I feel that you're actually able to get rid of any of these problems of, I'm not saying you don't have any more, periods of self-sabotage, because I think that you will have some of that struggle. Anytime that there is some kind of a challenge or struggle that's before us, we're more inclined to go back to an old path, an old pattern that was familiar in that chaos, because it's seductive. It's something that we felt comfortable, we're familiar with, we know what we say to ourselves. It's usually sitting at the top of our thoughts. It's a learned behavior. It's a feeling of unworthiness. And so again, this is a period where you're actually taking ownership of your behavior, throughout the course of September, and you're making these changes here to your psyche. This is about you taking responsibility and not holding yourself back. And you're really living your life now. Okay, so the next cards up will be Earth Magic. This is Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. We've got Tsunami Wake Up Call, Instinct, Harmony, and Synergy Green Man. So it does look like there is something that you're maybe, as I mentioned before, that you're not quite fully, you're intending to possibly go down this learned path already, all over again, but you've already learned the lesson. So you're getting the wolf instinct that's saying, and the tsunami, really, because they work in tandem, that's saying, pay attention. You've already learned that lesson. Don't repeat it. Don't go down the old pattern. Don't go down the old path. This is it's an eruption here of sorry. It's just it's any kind of significant loss or drama in your life that you maybe have already gone through, that you're somehow faced with again through the month of September at some point. So it's some kind of unexpected event, that's coming up here. just a real life drama here, but there's no need to really amplify this. This is a card that's telling you that, you don't need to amplify it. It is what it is. Don't make it more than it is. Look back on this as something that has already passed. You don't need to relive it just because it's in your face again. So that might be related to a relationship issue, partnership, family confrontation, or something that somebody's trying to bring up again that you've already felt you've resolved on some level. Stay in your truth, stay in your power. Because again, with the wolf instinct, the wolf instinct is about, you can lose touch with your instinctual sensitivities, but the wolf is really about protecting family, and it's really about, the wolves are really great parents, and they're really quite strong creatures. So, you need to stay in touch with your instincts here. You need to stay in touch with the divine, and any cues that you're getting that somebody might be trying to throw you back into an old place. This is where you want to start paying attention to those cues. Because you only have a limited time to overcome this, because you have to be ready to move on to the next opportunity. So don't slow yourself down, because you only get a certain window of time here when these doors open. So music is a part of this. So again, this could be music that you use that keeps you motivated. This could be, music that you hear around you that is a synchronicity that calls a message of some sort to you. But this is about, it could be something related to an ancestor that was strongly correlated to music and somehow is speaking to you through music, or you start to pay attention to words or something that is significant. But either way, this is about just paying attention to the sounds, the rhythms, vibrations, anything in the environment that, even in your just general surroundings, period, that causes you to see if there's some kind of, pay attention to the things that don't seem in harmony. This is a warning, a bit of a warning, I feel, with all those 3 cards here lined up. Because your whole point is to try to create balance, especially as a Libra. But it is a time for you to, but it's also a time for you to just challenge some of the things that aren't quite making sense. Meaning, pay attention. There's some things in your surroundings that you're getting cues from that you're not really fully paying attention to. Okay, so the next card is Green Man, and that's synergy. And again, with this card, this is really just that. This is about things that relate to synchronicities, balance, things that are coming through to help you, to move you ahead. This is really that card of you taking advantage of things. It's that flow of life. You're being guided. Things, you're cooperating with spirit here, or spirit's trying to at least make the mission a little more, your mission of learning your lesson and staying on the path, making it a little more clear for you. Things are coming through, so it's a little more clear for you. And this is also about you being aware of your ego and making sure to keep that in check and get it out of the way when you need to, because this is really about everything being balanced for you to express yourself. So the universe is trying to make that happen. But it does that by, again, keeping you aware of your ego so that it doesn't get in the way of things that they're trying to help you to manifest. Okay, so the next card this is actually the Spellcasting Oracle cards. This was actually a deck that was given to me by a very dear friend of mine, Flavia, Kate Peters, Barbara, Michael John Free, and artwork by Lisbeth Cheever Gesseman is that deck. So you've got closure, you've got healing, you've got home, and you've got confidence. So again, it's pretty straightforward there. I think you actually are coming to a closure with a lot of things in your life. You're ending a lot of cycles. There's a lot of 10s in here, and 9s are really the closure, but 10s, you've already stepped into the new place where you're headed. So this is about you getting out of that situation, moving into a place where you're better suited. This is about you not hesitating, In some cases, some of you may still be hesitating, but overall, you're letting go of some of the shadowy energy, some of the things that were stopping you from moving past things of the past. But this is, again, trusting your instincts and embracing the lessons. When one door closes, another opens, as they say. So this is about light bringing you brighter experiences, as can be depicted in the card. And again, it's just about you having determination to let go and keep moving forward. So the next card was healing. So, as the previous card indicated, it was a time to accept an ending, and it was definitely could, relate around a breakup of some sort as well. But it means there's an opportunity that waits, that comes after that end. So you need to make room for that new energy, and that's where the healing comes in here. So you actually have been going through a period of tremendous healing, I think, over the course of this year and in 2019. But this could be relating to, health issues or chronic pain, but it could also be mental healing, anything that relates around letting go of, toxic things, and taking responsibility for your health, and doing things in moderation. So again, this is also speaking to somebody who could be a natural healer. This is also can be speaking to detoxification, but it's also just a time for accepting, that you're in a period of transition. So we also have the card of home. And again, with the card of home, this is about, this is where your heart is. This is where you're starting to build your sanctuary. This is that place of protection where you feel security. So you're trying to, I feel that a lot of you need to clear some spaces. And certainly, with COVID, I'm sure a lot of people have been doing a lot of that anyway, but I feel this card is really letting you know you need to re-energize your space. And to do that, you need to make room. You actually need to make space, enable for the energy to flow through. So, if you're letting go of a home, or if you're selling a home, or you're moving somewhere, that would also be represented in this card. But it's really someone who's trying to make themselves at home. So it's really about you putting up some boundaries, getting free of clutter, and starting to organize your life so that things can be because things are going to speed up for you, Libra, and you need to have it organized. If you don't, you're going to have some more difficulties, more challenges, more overwhelm that's just going to saddle you down the road here. So with confidence, again, I felt that you have moved into this, or you will be moving into this for the period of September. I think for some of you, there might be still some self-doubt that's kind of running the show here, but for the most part, it's you starting to be more self-sufficient in terms of regulating your own, being your own counsel, regulating your own emotions. I feel that you're more reliant on yourself because, as I said, there's a newfound confidence that's coming through with this card, and you're more independent versus interdependent. So this is about you staying positive, putting yourself out there. You're not comparing yourself to others. You're now turning away from that inner critic, and it's about you doing it. It's about you just getting out there and doing it now. I feel a lot of you have actually moved into a place of out of stagnation and into an all or nothing, got to get it out there sort of mentality. Okay, so the next cards I will read will be the Wisdom of the Oracle, and that's by Colette Baron Reed. So these cards were the Tribe, Loyal Heart, and Poised. So again, this all positive cards. The Tribe is you finding your tribe. It's just that, you're starting to connect with people that are like-minded, people that actually support what you're doing, people that have an understanding of who you are essentially. So this is a community that you're starting to belong to, or you're just starting to find some like-minded connections. It can be family, a sense of family and friendship that's opening up that may be rekindled here. But it's about you knowing your place in the world. So the message is that you've got this new connection. You're finding your tribe. This is you finding a sense of purpose where everything's starting to come together, and you're part of that spiritual community or that artistic community or that learning community, whatever it is for you. And you're actually starting to share that, that love of education or that love of spirituality, amongst the group here. So this is you finding joy in those communities, and you're contributing to it as well. So, you may or may not be a leader in this tribe, but your presence is needed. And in terms of a relationship, this is about you discovering essential qualities that you share with somebody else. So it's kind of a kinship on another level. But it can also be that when you lead, others follow. And it can also represent sort of that dance between you and another, where you're able to find that perfect place, that perfect balance, where you both can experience the best version of yourselves, or even for just yourself. In terms of prosperity, this card would indicate that, you've got like-minded community around you. Others are starting to support that abundance. And again, it's you saying to yourself, what can I contribute? And you're actually, you've looked at the needs that are out there, and you're now finding a way to fill it and manifest it and find something meaningful in life. So you're not trying to be all things to people here. You're not trying to lead by false representation. You're leading through authenticity, and this is what is allowing you to feel that sense of accomplishment and knowing that you have some purpose here. The only warning that might come with this card is that you don't compromise your integrity to belong. So just remember that, because there's too high a cost that goes with that down the road. But just be authentic, true to who you are. So the next card is Loyal Heart. And again, with Loyal Heart, this is just that. You actually have loyalty and devotion from people around you, whether it's friends, family, anything that is in your sphere here is now starting to come through as something that you can trust. There's faithfulness, there's honesty that comes through with this group of people. And it's just, you're starting to get some moments now where you actually can share and trust. But it's also in friendships, partnerships, all of that's, as I said, romantic relationships. But it's also where you're trusting in the universe now here with this card. In terms of money, it is talking about a long-term loyalty to your goals. So this is about you staying the course. You're assuming responsibility for your own success, and you're waiting for the success to finally take shape. But it is taking shape. So there is something that's going to show you very shortly that there is a significant, you're on the precipice of something that's about to manifest. But you're going to be shown proof of that in this next short while. So again, there is some kind of prosperity that's coming through. You've got a lot of victory, layers of victory that are coming through in September. I didn't see a lot in terms of finances just yet, but you see that it's coming. So as far as poised goes, again, this speaks to pretty much the same thing as well, being ready to embrace with confidence this new abundance is coming in. You're ready for anything right now with this card. You've got wisdom, you've got the knowledge to move into this new phase of your life, and it's really a time to begin new things, and that's exactly what's happening. I don't feel that you're just all of a sudden starting with a new project. I think this is something that has been culminating, but I think that you just feel freer to open up and go deeper with this and immerse yourself more fully with what's happening here. So it's just a beautiful place to be. It's really about you ready to give your all. And you are, again, feeling confident. You've got the success is more concrete now because you've been taking actions. So it's about you stepping into your power, and you're moving in the direction that you need to be moving in. It's your destiny. So you are aligning with your own truth is what's happening with that. The next cards are Next cards are the Magical Spell cards, and that is by Lucy Cavendish. So you've got Victory. I shall celebrate and I shall rise. I will let victory make me wise. You also have Safe Travel. Keep me safe and let me roam far away, but bring me home. You've got Dream Swept, Sleep Deep. Sleep that's deep and last till morn. Wondrous dreams for days reborn. And you also have Creativity, which is by all above and all below. Let me connect. Let creativity flow. And lastly, you have Romance. Romance is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. So again, there is something, I'm not sure if this is a new relationship that's coming in here, or if this is something that is just you being passionate about your project with the Romantic card there, because it's so closely, it was so closely connected to the Creativity card there. But either way, I mean, you've got Victory, and again, there's a good chance that some of you are going to be traveling, because you've got the World card, lots of internet connections back and forth. I feel that some of you may not be sleeping very well with this card here, and certainly you've got lots of creativity that's flowing through, lots of ideas, lots of momentum. So, overall, the cards are pretty self-explanatory. Victory is in sight. Anything that was holding you back is, really falls to the wayside, because you're already on the precipice of this victory. It's very, very close to you now. You also have the Safe Travel card, as I mentioned. And the Safe Travel card was really just speaking to you. Again, I mean, it could be that you are traveling, but I mean, it could also just be the metaphoric journey as well. But sorry, there we go. But with Safe Travel, I mean, there's excitement here, and you might be a little nerved up, because there is, you're pretty close to what's going to happen now. So maybe there's a newfound energy that's kind of coming through here that is making you nervous or anxious. It can also speak to you wondering if you're going to be safe in this new journey and going forward with it. But instead of being fearful, you want to ask for protection and help from those around you in the spirit realm, and certainly from your ancestors. And I did feel that was coming through on other cards, so I wouldn't really lose sleep over it. So anyway, with this card, again, it's just you benefit more from deeper sleep. It's more of a healing card, so it's just about you, just to keep you mentally sharp and emotionally balanced. So your sleeping patterns might be a little irregular at this time, but trying to find a way to just to get a little more healing, deeper sleep, more rest. And again, when that happens, you always have a better sense of, creatively, you're actually able to produce. So creativity is a big part of resolving problems, and not just from an artistic standpoint, for sure it's you manifesting ideas, dreams, wishes, it's fleeting moments, things of inspiration that you want to write down, things that you might see in a new and exciting way. It's about making things more tangible. So it's taking action on it for sure, but making sure that you're using that energy. These are gifts that come through for you. Any kind of creative talents, any kind of creative solutions, all of that is being given to you in this month of September. So take advantage of that. Make sure to write it down. Don't take it as a fleeting intention or fleeting information that's coming through, because it is meaningful. So romance, again, this could represent a new romance or romance that's deepening, but either way, it can also represent passion for the project, because again, it was very close to the creativity card. But if it is relating to a relationship, it is about a reconnection, and it is also about being practical. And I did feel that there is some sense, because you also had the Lover's card, even though it was in the financial aspect. I'm just going to refer to it, but there was a Lover's card that came through with abundance. And I feel that there is some kind of a romance that might be coming through here that is deepening here, but it's a karmic relationship or soul relation, twin soul, twin flame kind of relationship. It's something that has real impact. It's a true romance. It's something that has real meaning, that that is somehow influencing this reading. I don't know, as I say, if you need to be open to it, if that's what it is, or if this is calling out to an existing relationship. But either way, there's something that's flowing through that relates to a very deep bond with someone. And again, you can have soulful relationships with friends as well. They don't all have to be romantic. But there is something that's coming through for September on that front. Next cards would be Emerging into Grace. This is actually, sorry, these cards are the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms cards. Oh no, I lie. This is actually the Gateway cards. Okay, so it's the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lim. So you've got Emerging into Grace. I open my soul to grace. You've got Breaking Barriers. I'm expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. You've also got Believing in Magic, and the magic is abounding into my life. And you've got Looking Deeper. So deep within me is a majestic radiance. So just to start with, emerging into grace, I mean, this is really, you know that you're already on the rise here. You already know that you're moving into a place of moving beyond expectations here. You know, you're starting to make a difference is what's happening here when you're emerging into grace. This is really just letting you know that you're on the right track here. So next card was Breaking Barriers. And again, with Breaking Barriers, again, just that, breaking limitations, anything that was self-imposed barriers, you're breaking free from anything that was holding you back. And again, that represents any fear, any, just trusting the process, and your instincts are coming through with the divine's help, with your ancestors' help, with intuitive inklings. So again, you can relax and let go because, again, you're emerging into grace. So let go of anything that is in the background here that was an old pattern, because you're actually divinely led here. So there's something that you can trust now. You're opening up into that deepest part of yourself, and this is where the believing in the magic comes in. This is a card of letting you know you are actually in a place where you are able to create your own magic. You're manifesting things. This is where you're making it all happen. This is the card that lets you know you are, on a track of opening doors. This is where you're actually starting to see synchronicities, signs, symbols, anything that started coincidences, anything that's starting to reveal messages to you. Some people it's dimes on the ground, other people it's feathers. Sometimes it comes to people in dreams, but either way, it's you starting to believe that it's coming towards you because you're starting to see things that make sense to you that you know to be synchronicities. So with the final card, Looking Deeper, again, this is just that you're reflecting, you're taking a hard look at everything. You're looking at yourself, you're looking at anything that was in your environment, you're seeing things on a different level. And this is it's more expansive. And so because you're able to see relationships and situations on this, from this perspective, from more of an expansive position, this is also allowing you to see truth, light, abundance, things that might have been hidden from you before, starting to make sense. So you're starting to maybe make sense about why somebody's behavior is the way it is, and because you understand it now, it doesn't offend you, it doesn't bother you, you don't react to it, because this is a little gem of truth. This is a little fragment of the person that you see the whole of the picture. Now, instead of just seeing somebody's pain, you're actually starting to see where the pain comes from. You're starting to see how, a person masks, I'm just using this as an example, but, how they might be masking difficulties and why so many mood swings or whatever it is. It's all starting to make sense to you. These are the little gems that you find when you start to look deeper. Okay, so the next card is the, I think I'll read the Voyager Tarot. No, I won't. I'll read the Enchanted map first. Okay, so the Enchanted map is by Colette Baron Reed. We've got Stormfields, we've got One Ring Circus, we've got wide open. So first off, storm fields, I feel you've already come through pretty much most of the storm here. This is, I think, kind of an old energy here. You know, this too shall pass is the message of the card. You know, any chaos or anything that was uncomfortable or causes of conflict are now being released here. It's no longer standing in front of you, blocking you. You know, this is about you starting to move out of the way of chaos, and you're starting to see new growth. You know how to deal with it better as well. So you may not have all the answers, but you know how to deal with it, and you see an old pattern. You know how to sideswipe that, so it's not directly in your path. So this is the one ring circus, and this represents that you're capable and you're competent. This is about you being independent, and it's important that you be independent and step into your journey here. So this is about you having all the vision. You've got the resources at your disposal. You've got wisdom, you know, that you are competent, you are capable, you're moving forward with assurance, and it's important that you trust yourself and that there is self-reliance here. This is about you maintaining clear boundaries with people, so that other people, including partnerships, relationships, friendships, you know, whatever it is for you, anything that might have drawn on your energy before, you now have some boundaries up so that you're not as trusting, you're not as open, you know, and because of those boundaries, you're actually able to attract better people. Well, I shouldn't say better people, but you're actually able to attract people more in alignment with yourself that are mutually supportive. So other people that may not understand your journey are going to still be, you know, blocked in some way, but now you have boundaries up around that. You're not blocking them out entirely. You're just putting boundaries up as to what you share, boundaries about, you know, what it is that you share, even in terms of your goals. You're not sharing everything so openly. Here is what I feel. This is you. You know, you can achieve anything with this card, and again, it's because you're now able to see who's there, who's really in your tribe here. You know, this is about you being able to give up that need to control and sort of trust that the universe is guiding you in the right direction. Okay, so the next card is wide open. Wide open is just that. You are actually at a place now where you're free to express your uniqueness. This is about you having that limitless possibility to your life. You've got a lot of opportunities that are open to you here. It's just a matter of choosing which direction, you know, that you want to be in. Again, for everybody, it'll be different. Some people might be doing, you know, an internet path. Other people might be looking for a promotion in a job. But whatever it is, it's you starting to see that you have the potential to get there. It's closer to you than you think, and that you're able to actually, it's in sight now as well. This is what the card is. She's on top of the mountain. Everything is in sight here. So it's not about you staying small. You're actually able to expand your horizons. You're able to see further. You know what your potential is. You know where you can put your skills, your resources, your knowledge, and you know how to express it in the world now. You've got a lot of new ideas, new approaches, and this is about you speaking up, speaking out, and, you know, replacing all those old ideas and moving into a bigger space, bigger audience. Okay, so the next cards are, I'll do the Voyager Tarot. Okay, so the Voyager Tarot is this one here. It's Women of Crystals, it's Man of Cups, and that's the back of the cards, and we also have the Two of Wands. So again, a lot of repeat cards, but again, the meanings differ depending on depending on the creator of the oracle or tarot cards. So the Voyager Tarot is James Wanless, who is the creator of this one. And so starting off with the Woman of Crystals, which is a guardian card. So this is a guardian. This is somebody who's got a great mind, which speaks to yourself, you know, and it's about protecting that great mind. So don't get yourself confused under any, you know, delusion, because it'll dull your mind, and you want to get rid of any negatives, anything that might try to penetrate, you know, over the course of September. Because again, there was a period there where I feel that you are going, probably toward the beginning of September, where you are going to feel a little bit more negative or worrisome, or there's going to be some little bit of difficulty to deal with. But again, you want to trust the logic of your intuition here. So this is you seeing through things intuitively. The Man of Cups, this one is really letting you know that you are a surfer. So this is about you feeling some excitement, maybe too much excitement, or maybe too many highs and lows going on, so this is somebody that is needing to keep their emotions under control, which was also indicated earlier in the reading. And you want to just, again, try to keep your cool so that you can negotiate what's coming up. And again, I feel it's still beginning of September. You're going to have some issues there. But there's the Two of Wands as well. And this is really about being true to yourself. It's a card of purity. So the Two of Wands is about being true to yourself. Don't contaminate it with, how you think things should be. Just see it for what it really is. No preconceived notions. Don't judge. Don't get into any toxic situations either that might relate to, overindulgences with drugs or alcohol or drinking, or just want to keep the path pure with light right here is what's happening with that one. Okay, so the next cards would be the sorry, I'm just trying to find the author of the next ones. Looks like I might have... Okay, well anyway, we'll read these ones here. This is the Mystical Healing Reading Cards, Ina Segal. So this is creating boundaries, which was already mentioned earlier in the reading, that you really need to establish some boundaries between you and others, anybody who might be that doesn't understand you or your path. And so it's not for you to try to convince people. It's your journey, it's your path, it's your destiny. Other people have their own destiny, so they're not always going to have, any real understanding of where you're headed. So it's not for them to understand. Anyway, this is about you knowing when to say yes, no, what works for you. It's about you having a healthy respect for yourself and for your personal well-being. Know who you can, who you need to surround yourself with that's beneficial. And I don't mean, necessarily beneficial in some kind of manipulative way. I mean just being honest with yourself about who it is that you feel is in harmony with your journey here. So you don't want to be around people that are going to completely drain you after being, after having an interaction, just because that's not going to allow, you're going to have to go through a recovery period that slows you down. So go towards things that uplift you here, and that would help to build you on the level of self. There's a few cards that also came through, and this is just again a repeat of the Grounding Yourself card. It's a time for you to learn how to just be strong and clear, and don't live inside your head. This is about you trying to feel a little more in touch with your body and your surroundings, and just being honest with every aspect of yourself. So this is about a healthier you. Doing your actions need to be more deliberate here. This is also about you trusting others more. And certainly that will matter when opportunities arise. You don't want to be so closed off that you don't see the opportunity in front of you. So you don't have to, this is a card of letting you know that you don't have to force things anymore. You don't have to push things ahead. You actually have everything lining up, the right possibilities. Everything is starting to come towards you. The next card is actually Unlocking Your Heart. So again, I feel there was some level of you being closed off. You're still protecting yourself from being hurt, maybe on a romantic front here. But it's okay to trust yourself. Again, you've got a lot more intuition that you can trust yourself now, is what it's saying. It's not saying, open your heart to everybody that comes your way, but you have a lot more intuition, a lot more awareness, a lot more grounded energy that's coming through, that you can make healthy choices that enhance your life, so that you actually do experience a deeper, intimate relationship here. Because again, when you're overly protected, you're closing in the pain, the sadness, the fear, and that brokenness, and those become unprocessed emotions. So you want to be able to be open to listening and trusting and living through that pain, through that struggle, through that loss, and be compassionate with yourself and realize that it's okay that you went through the bad experience, because you found another degree of wisdom which has helped to level you up. You found another way of dealing with a situation which has created new resolutions for you. You now know how to deal with more of these emotional lows when they do arise again. So this is also anything, allowing love, not just to have a relationship, but allowing supportive love around you to come back in. You don't have to close yourself off from everything now. This is about you learning to transform some of those energies of some of those pains, some of those, I don't want to say they were all blockages. I mean, they're only blockages if you stop learning. But anyway, you also have recognized divine timing. So this is really about you moving on your way here to what you truly desire. So the universe is, again, synchronizing things. It's deepening your inner preparation. It's allowing you to arrive at the right time. So if something seems a little slow to get there, it's still the right time. You need to, it's going to be different for everybody. Some people are 18, some people are 50, some people are 60, some people are 40, 30, whatever. Everybody's at a different stage in their life, and so they have to, and again, their motivation, their responsibilities, all those factors play into the outcome. And so it's important to be aware of, mindful of what divine timing means to you. So in other words, not everybody is going to get everything in September. Some people, it's going to have to be, drawn up further out into the months ahead. But definitely there is still victories. There's still layering of successes coming through for September for all of you. It's just that you grasp them at different times. So again, if you're asking for, a loving relationship or a friendship or anything like that, this is a card that's just letting you know it will come in the right time. So, you just have to wait it out and be patient. Know that it's coming, because you're still prepping for success here. You're still having to get, you can't be open for love if you still have to transform some anger. So, you have to work through all of those things first before the universe can bring it in for you. So again, there is still some anger here for you to transform. And again, it's also at the beginning of the reading. So for sure, there's something that's dealing with you using your anger as a catalyst for change as well. This can also be what this card speaks to, but it's not about you blaming other people for your limitations. It's about you facing your anger, but allowing it to energize you instead of drain you. So you're not working, for your life. You're taking responsibilities and steps to change your life. So you're not just working, you're putting down those golden steps to be able to create your life. So, it's about you being kinder to yourself and to others, because that's going to help to transform the situation, whether it's transforming your anger into passion or making it and turning it into something creative. But either way, it's a positive change that you need to manifest. And also, it's about asking yourself some of the questions about why you're angry, and how you could let go or transform this anger, and who are you blaming and why are you blaming them. It's okay to say, yes, this person knows my triggers and they cause some anger, but now how are you going to prevent them from continuing to trigger you? And again, with your new expansive sense of yourself, it should make it a lot easier for you to come into that understanding, because you actually have a better understanding of life on a broader level. So, and including of yourself, and when we understand our own pains, it's easier to understand other people's pains as well. So we'll move into the almost to the very end here. This is actually moving into the final cards for advice, which is the Archangel Power Tarot cards, Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. So this is 3 of Gabriel, prosperity arising from wise planning, time to take the next step, optimistic plans that turn out as expected. And so that one's pretty straightforward here as well. You know, you're moving in the right direction here. 3 of Gabriel just speaks to you making good choices, you know, throughout the month of September. It's a long-term planning situation here. We're not just talking about short-term career success. You're moving on, you're taking the actions that are required, and definitely this speaks to travel for business purposes as well. So you want to reveal or review some of your options and make sure you keep your enthusiasm high here. This is about self-confidence. This is about teamwork. It's about optimism. So it is an expected outcome, so you don't have to worry. It's really about you just having some patience. So you also have the Ace of Michael here as well. So again, that card is a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up any communication problems with others. So for sure, you know, you definitely have something that's going to create a little bit of an obstacle for you in the month of September, because you did have some worry and you did feel a little overwhelmed. But it doesn't matter, because you really are at a point where you're able to see the way clear. You've got a lot more confidence. You do have opportunity that comes through here in an entirely new way. You want to give attention to the details and keep on your plan of action. Keep your eye on the big picture here. It could be a bumpy start in September, which I felt was going to be the case here, but you're going to continue to move forward. So you're clearing up any communication problems, and so it looks like it is going to be an issue that relates around that. And so that misunderstanding is what you need to get to the heart of. So again, that's why it was indicating that you needed to keep calm and be honest with yourself, look for the silver lining in things, and don't give up. And so you've also got new beginnings with number 20 here. New beginnings is starting a new life. You're finding new purpose, a forgiving, compassionate review of the past. So you're looking at everything in its entirety, and you're starting to, you know, realize how far you've actually come, and what you're about to embark on. It's a new direction all around. So you're taking up this new direction with confidence. You've got decisions to be made, but things will work out positively for you. If it's relating to examinations or tests or legal settlements, all of that will have favorable outcomes. You're answering your calling here. You're finding your purpose. You're starting a new life. You've got clarity and unlimited opportunities. So a Knights can be coming through as a messenger as well. It could also represent a person, but this is a committed romantic relationship being swept off your feet. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So again, if it relates to a relationship, then it's a new relationship, reaching a deeper commitment, or something along that line that's new, that's coming in. But there's also a situation or a topic that makes your heart flutter. So that's indicating that there is some, it could even be a passionate project, something that you've got passion behind, that you're really gung-ho for. You're really, you know, much more motivated to accomplish here, because you know that you're prepared, you know that you have the ability to communicate better if you really put your mind to it, and it's about a creative or artistic career opportunity as well. So again, situational, if we're talking about a situation in terms of career, it's a creative artistic opportunity. But if we're talking about people, it's someone who is, you know, artistic and emotional, who falls in love, you know, easily, very romantic, poetic, optimistic, dramatic. But again, the overall meaning of the card in itself is just about powerful emotions that you need to get grounded. So, and again, you did get that card of being grounded as well before, so just be aware of that. You've got the Page of Michael, which is truthful, perceptive, analytical, and blunt. An exciting new challenge that's coming through. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. And again, you're on the precipice of some kind of change. You're using your intellect. You're not to worry with this card. It's letting you know that you're proceeding successfully, and that includes business, legal contracts, that are coming through will be successful, but you still need to review it thoroughly, right? This is something that you don't want to miss out on a detail. In terms of a person, it's somebody who has a student mind. Pages are all about learning. So this could be something that is a new job or new learning that you're taking on. But there's also a balanced nature, balanced communication, that kind of thing that comes through with this card. But it also indicates that there could be a temporary delay in terms of documents. You also have the Six of Ariel. So Six of Ariel, again, more blessings coming through. Material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. So you've got more blessings coming in. There is something for sure that's coming in for the month of September. I don't feel like the big thing is coming through for September, but you have many layers of healing, many layers of expansive awareness, healing of relationships, healing of self. I feel that there's some kind of a gift coming through for the universe that you're supposed to accept here as well for the month of September. It can be in the form of something financial, but it's something that you will want nonetheless. So it's also about, promotions. It's also about scholarships. It's also about grants and acts of kindness. Any of those things fall within that same realm. So for a lot of you, there is definitely some kind of new learning, new job, new opportunity, new promotion. For others, it's a business that's taking off, and definitely you're starting to see it all culminate together now. It's not that you have all of the pentacles yet, but everything is starting to, you're starting to see the fruits of that manifest now. So you're starting to see how it'll all line up. Okay, getting into the financial aspect, this is the last part of it here, just to round it up. Okay, so first card out is Devil Energy. And as I mentioned, this could represent a person. It definitely can be Capricorn or a Cancer, Sagittarius energy here. But either way, I mean, it does respond to sort of the material elements of life. So if we were talking about relationship, I mean, you want to reevaluate your relationship to material things. Maybe that's what's getting in the way. Maybe you're too much emphasis is on the money, and it's having you suffer in your relationships. But either way, it could also work in the reverse, where you've got a relationship that makes you feel chained and restrained, and maybe even a little obsessive, or God forbid abusive, or harmful relationship of some sort. But there's a fear here around financial security, material success. Those kinds of things can be coming through with this card. It does speak to manipulation as well, overindulgences, drinking, or anything to excess, anything that's toxic, overly sexual relationships, codependency, that kind of thing. I did ask for a clarifier, and again, this came through with the Queen of Cups. So there's a really strong indicator that this could actually be the case, that it is a relationship situation here. So with the Queen of Cups, I do feel that you have to be, this could represent you or the other person, but for sure I do feel that there is some kind of possibly codependency that's going on here, that could be the battle that's at the beginning of the month, and where you're feeling some sense of you're defensive here is what's happening. There's a strong defensive energy with the Queen of Cups coming through. And that is, again, the 9 is still a card of taking action, but it's also a card of you're feeling like you have to put up some boundaries here with this person who could be a Cancer coming through with that Devil energy as well. As I said, these are clarifiers here. So I mean, the Queen of Cups is somebody who, really is romantic and wife and mother and wise. Doesn't have to be somebody who's a mother. It could be a father that's just a really compassionate person as well. This is not specific to the gender of the cards. It's just the energy of the card. But again, it's just somebody who's really heart-based and somebody who could be quite creative and artistic and visionary. So again, there's to me, it just seems like some kind of relationship issue that's posing a problem here in the beginning of September, because again, there was energy coming through with tens, with Tower, and then walking away from this difficulty transforming. So again, there was a lot of cards that spoke to an ending, whether that's a relationship ending or an ending to the way in which it was being dealt with. There's definitely some issue that has brought to light that you need to let go of the way in which it was being dealt with. So again, Ten of Wands energy is letting you know that that cycle has got to come to an end. The way in which it was being lived out is not healthy for you. You're finding it to be more of a burden, this situation. It's blocked, it's causing you to be blocked in the beginning of September. And, I mean, I feel, especially too, as the Queen of Cups, it's a card of, the combination just makes me feel as though you need to fix it, you're trying to fix it. And there's a lot of exhaustion and emotional strain that comes through here, and that you feel really responsible for how that situation turns out. Again, with the Tower moment here, I mean, it's because the Devil energy can speak to a lot of manipulation or addiction, or something, a lot of jealousy, bondage, just feeling like you're being controlled. There's a lot of negative energies around that person, that card. So there's a problem, but it's with the Tower moment, it's a problem that doesn't last. And again, I mean, it could speak to some kind of physical relocation as well, but with the Eight of Cups in there. But either way, there's some kind of positive end that you're walking away from that confrontation or that situation. Because as I say, I mean, Eight of Cups are really about you kind of metamorphosizing into, letting go of whatever that situation is. It can also speak to looking for spiritual, fulfillment, and you could also be on that journey of self-discovery here, because this person has, somehow come in and caused you too much difficulty, that you've had to redirect your energy so that you could come out of that and find that new direction. So, I mean, it can speak to abandonment, but I really feel it's about you reevaluating your priorities and trying to find balance here, and you're rerouting. That's what I really feel is happening here. So again, I feel all those cards kind of stand together, really. You also have the Ten of Cups. Like, there's lots of tens here. This is a really significant time for you. In the month of September. Again, lots of layering of victories and letting go, releasing things. With the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, this is a card that is speaking to, happy times and success and money. But I don't feel that's necessarily what's happening when it's being clarified with the Ten of Pentacles. I think you're having to let go of something before you can achieve this. So there is some sense of you being able to manifest this financial security and this happiness, but you have to let go of something first before you're able to reach that. We also have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles tells you the direction. This is a beginning card. This is a card telling you this is where you are headed with your focus here in terms of money. You're headed toward mastery. You're headed toward connection. You're headed toward alliances and people on the same path. For those that are in a work situation, this would relate to a new job or new opportunity and a promotion of some sort, because there's teamwork involved. There's collaboration. But for those that are on another level, with an ambition that relates to a business, this would come through as you being, projecting success. There's a success that's coming through with that Three of Pentacles. So again, with the Ace, this is a card of financial gain. It is also a card, as I say, it's a gift coming in from the universe. So there's something coming through for you for September. It's a gift. There's something that's going to be positive for you, that is going to be probably in that first week of September, moving toward the second week. But either way, it is something that might be, as I say, in terms of a job or an opportunity or a promotion for one group of Librans, but for the others, it has more to do with you having financial gain. There's stability, recognition for success. And again, it's an unexpected blessing that's coming through here. So you also have it followed by the King of Pentacles. So really to me, that speaks to, could be even a health profession that's coming through there as well, or somebody in that kind of profession. But really it is tangible results. It's practical accomplishments. You know, you've got the power to get what you want and what you need here. You're trusting in the situation, and you're actually able, you're acting in a grounded way to be able to achieve this. So there's you might be negotiating some kind of a raise as well at this time, but either way, it is you moving forward. And there's opportunity and something coming through as a gift from the universe for September. And again, you've got so many abundance cards. There's definitely some positive stuff that's coming through here. Again, you've got the King of Pentacles. I don't know if this is really relating to a person for you, or if it's just indicating that you're on the right path and that you actually are going to be transitioning into this this person. But with the King of Pentacles, this is really somebody with an entrepreneurial energy. So again, if it's not somebody, if it's not you moving into this and taking power in you know, being reliable and enterprising and charismatic and practical, then it can be somebody that's coming through with this energy that's helping you or giving you some assistance, or that you're trying to somehow connect with, you know, in terms of manifesting your success here. So again, it could be somebody just around you that has that's already reached the top of success. They're already somebody who's stable. They already have power and discipline. They already are competent. You know, this is somebody who's really kind of could be a business leader of some sort anyway, but either way, they can be just somebody who sees things through. This is somebody who thinks things through thoroughly. This is somebody who has a higher social status, and it's also, you know, somebody who takes action. So really, in terms of a career, I mean, it could represent somebody who is even in real estate, a broker, or banking, you know, not somebody who's a gambler, but somebody who's a CEO, that kind of thing. But it is about reaching a certain level of status, seeing things through, and being proud of achievements. So again, in terms of a situation, it's about moving into that direction of success in an orderly fashion, you know. And in terms of a person, it's just somebody who, and it's, again, if it's a situation, it's about telling you to be committed. And if in terms of, you know, two people could also be coming through here with the King and the Queen that have, it could be like a power couple here as well with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is, kings tend to be more external in the way that they present in the world. Queens tend to be more internal in their power, in the way that they lead. But either way, with the Queen of Wands, still very strong, charismatic person that's coming through here. You know, a King of Pentacles is more practical and grounded, whereas a Queen of Wands is really somebody who is, you know, really career-oriented person, somebody who's really ambitious, somebody who has that desire for success, really magnetic, you know, somebody who could even be really charismatic and theatrical, and somebody who's not really shy. They're really determined. They're super focused. You know, this is somebody who is bold in their decisions, and it could even speak to, you know, writing career or something relating to publishing, something along that line too. But either way, this is somebody who knows what she wants, and she's moving in the direction of what she wants. Sorry, my kitty cat's in the room here too, so she's trying to navigate try to keep her off the cards. Anyway, anyway, this is somebody who's a change maker. So again, if this is two people coming through in the reading, this could be a power couple, somebody that either of these characters that are coming in to assist you in moving in the direction of your goals or dreams. Okay, so you also have you've got the card of independence. This is a message that's coming through here with the Knight, that you've definitely got some teamwork. Three of Cups. There's a reason to celebrate this victory of you know, getting money. There's something that's coming through that, and again, independence with the Nine of Pentacles can speak to a lot of different things. You've got the 9 and 10. You've got a progression. There is a 3, 9, and 10 actually with the Pentacles, now that I look back at it, as well as the 2. So there is a progression of finance. So for sure there is something that is manifesting. Whether it all comes through, you know, it remains to be seen in September. I feel that it is more of a longer commitment, but the 9 of Pentacles can speak to somebody who's got $2,000, that might be enough to make them feel independent. Somebody who's got $15,000, that might be enough to make them feel independent. And again, for another group of people, independence is just a whole other meaning. So that's what I'm saying, is there's reason to celebrate. There's a message coming through that you definitely have something that's going to move you toward independence. You just need to be patient with the Temperance card. You also, this is an angel card letting you know you're being protected, you're being guided. I know that you've got a lot of worry coming through here. This is probably about the middle of, I guess it's the middle and the beginning, that you have some kind of relationship issue possibly, or challenge or obstacle in that regard. But you also have somewhere in about the middle, there's another sense of you being up in your head and being a little stressed out here with the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, again, that can be an energy of, you just feeling, that it's kind of the darkest hour before the dawn, so to speak. Like, there's just something about you questioning maybe the direction that you're going in, or nagging thoughts, something that you need to wake up from. Could be sleeplessness here as well. But there is some kind of overburden or, again, obsession where you just feel like you're a little vulnerable. But again, you're protected by the universe. So, you've already come to, this is a clarifier. There is the death of a cycle. There's the end of something that was related to the past. So, again, if this is a relationship of some sort, for some, for others, it's the end of an old way of doing something. You've got a lot of hanging on, nagging thoughts, fear. You're trying to control a situation in the middle of September, I suspect. Beginning to middle, I would say. You're trying to control a situation. I feel, or somebody is trying to control a situation and try to get away with something here. Maybe being a little manipulative as well in terms of money, or using money to manipulate. Not sure how that's coming through exactly for everybody, but there is something about that. Again, the Four of Pentacles can indicate, whether it's you or somebody else, that Four of Pentacles is about holding on to, could be even holding on to something of the past, or a limiting viewpoint. But I feel that you're really going into this expansive mindset. So it could be just insecurity here. Again, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is about you getting practical, staying balanced, and still going on with the journey. You're still staying the course. The Queen of Pentacles energy is definitely somebody who's very grounded, practical, looks after those that, she cares about with her family and so on. This is definitely a card of being practical and realistic. I do feel that you're juggling a few things right now. Maybe you've got a lot of things on the table. You've got a lot of responsibilities that you're trying to meet at this time. But it is about you staying practical. And again, it's about security, being security minded here, setting goals, being ambitious, and knowing how to create the money. You've got the resources with this person here, or as this person is a Queen of Pentacles, which I feel is you as well here. And that you're feeling that you're safe. You're feeling safe. You're feeling financially secure, that things are going to improve, and that they are being improved because you're being creative and resourceful. And this is also a healer, somebody who's who's established as well, to some extent. So you've also got the Eight of Pentacles, as I said. I'm just going to put those down here. You've got the Two of Pentacles and you've got the Eight of Pentacles. So for sure, with the Two of Pentacles, as I mentioned, you're trying to juggle some things here. You got a lot of balls in the air, so to speak. And but you're a multitasker basically. So, I feel that you're adapting to any changes that are coming your way. You're making balanced decisions. You're staying focused. I feel that, this is really you. This is really you starting to adapt and find several sources of income. That's what I feel is going on there with the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles, again, of course, is about getting things done and concentrating and being focused, discipline, and paying attention to detail, concentrating, all of that. And it could be training for a new skill, as I said, for sure. There's definitely for some of you, it'll be a job opportunity. For sure, you're getting some kind of a job in September. But for others, it's you mastering a skill. It's also about you, keeping on with the bigger picture here. You're building a dream. You're building a career for yourself. Something about widening you're expanding your knowledge here. There's a determination that's coming through here, a focused goal. Okay, so there's also abundance coming through we've got the lovers as well as the abundance card. So again, I mean, in terms of love, this is, I don't do a lot of the love readings, but I mean, the card in terms of money is still speaking to you gaining in a financial way. The twos are all about balance, but for sure with the lovers coming through, and again, it's clarified with the abundance card. This is the birth of ideas, inspiration. It could even be a partnership where this is starting to some kind of a partnership might be manifesting here. But either way, I mean, in terms of financial success, I mean, this is a great combination. This is really about, good fortune. I mean, it can speak to an inheritance of some sort as well. But it does speak to unexpected places or money that's coming through from unexpected places as well. And again, it's still some kind of unexpected source that's again either multiple levels of money that's coming through, like some additional place that you're getting money, or multiple resources that you're having to rely on. But either way, it's all positive. This is definitely you coming through with more. You coming through in your own reading as the Empress, as well as it's a fair and just situation here as well. You've got your own card coming through again twice. This is in terms of finances. This card would actually speak to, things. It could speak to things being balanced and yet to improve. You're told to be strong. You're told to be patient in the reading so far. You are on that fast track to success with the Chariot here. You're using your own level of integrity. You've got, again, a certain sense of staying in your own power here. With the Strength card, for sure you're manifesting. It's not really just manifestation. It's you being practical in the way in which you're using your energy. You're actually making the physical, putting things into physical action. So you're not just using the energy from spirit now. You're actually able to move it ahead. Okay, so you also have the Star card. And as I said, I mean, some kind of plan or project is starting to, to take shape, and with the Star card, the Sun card, it's the happiest card in the deck. It's bringing you a lot of happiness. It's also a card that's letting you know, you're on the right track. There's a reason for optimism here. This is definitely a card that is letting you know that you've got a victory ahead. You've got the Judgment card coming through to let you know you're on the right track. You've also got the end of a cycle here that's coming through. You've got the Star card. I mean, there's just so many indicators that you're getting recognition, for planting the seeds, and and it's on a global scale, with the World card here as well. So, again, I mean, the Strength card is you being in a good place. Your mind is in a good place. You're really feeling empowered here, especially toward the end of September. I feel that it could even speak to a little bit of overwork, exhaustion at some point, but for the most part, I really feel this is about you being persevering, being in your own personal power. You've got inner strength, you've got courage here. You've really got a lot of balance with the Justice card. You're being guided by your intuition with that card as well. You are making decisions that are good for you. And again, like with the Star card, this is really, it's just pure positive inspiration, realization of a dream. It's seeing the light. Things are going to be successful. It's visionary. You just need to trust that relationship with the divine and your ancestors coming through, because they're all over this reading. Lots of divine intervention here. This is the North Star. This is about you being on the right path. you're totally in alignment with everything that you're supposed to be doing. You've got motivation, you've got optimism, with the Seven of Pentacles here as well. You're enthusiastic. There's just a lot of really good energy here. Yeah. So overall, as I said, you're persevering. There's nothing that's giving me any indicator that there is anything to worry about in September other than your own worries and illusions. I feel that you have a lot of options. There's a lot of fast communication that's coming through, or at least a lot of fast action toward, which I feel is probably more the case for the majority of you out there. There's a lot of movement toward the Page of Swords here. So the Page of Swords is that clarity, seeing the way clear. You know what's going to happen here. You know where you're headed. You've got action. You've got integrity. You've got a lot of options here. You've got the foresight. You know where you're taking yourself. You're ready for action. You've got learning, spirit of learning. You're moving ahead here. And again, it's just inspiring news. There's good news as well that's coming through here. There's definite good news that's coming through, and new ideas, and that you're standing up for yourself. All of those things come through with that card. So anyway, I am sorry to drag that out. I always do these really late at night, and sometimes I get a little repetitive, but nonetheless, really glad that you stayed through the reading, Libra, and hope to see you into October. Again, this is a really exciting year, and it really seems like everything is moving in your favor. I don't think I've seen too much of anything that is been an issue for you. I think that in 2019, I think it was a really challenging year for a lot of you, but I feel that it's come full circle. Things are now being balanced, and you are definitely on the fast track to success. And right now you're at the precipice. So October looks exciting. Anyway, we'll see you in October. Stay safe.